Ladies and gentlemen, there's a unique power in solitude. It's not about being isolated, but about being whole. You see, when you live alone, you're not just occupying space, you're creating a sanctuary, a space to discover who you are at your core. Without the noise of others, you hear your own voice louder than ever. And in that voice is clarity about what you want, what you need, and who you are meant to be. Living alone is an invitation to embrace independence. It's about standing tall in your own skin, making decisions that align with your truth, and embracing your power. In relationships, sometimes we forget that we're individuals first, with dreams and goals that are separate from anyone else's. But living alone forces you to tap into that. You don't need someone else's approval to step into your greatness. And let me tell you something in this space, you learn the true meaning of self-love. When no one else is around to validate you, you begin to validate yourself. You learn to cherish every part of who you are, the flaws, the strength, the softness, the boldness. It's only in solitude that you can heal and nurture your own soul. And when you love yourself in this way, you carry that energy into everything you do. When you live alone, you hold the key to your own personal freedom. No more worrying about someone else's schedule or needs. You are free to chase your passions, pursue your dreams, and do the things that light you up. No compromises. The only person you're responsible for is you. Living alone also means breaking free from dependency. We're taught that relationships are the pinnacle of happiness, but I've learned that the true key to happiness is found within. When you live alone, you realize you don't need anyone to complete you. You are already complete. And when you reach this realization, you become stronger, more grounded, and more secure in your own worth. There's a peace that comes with solitude that you can't find anywhere else. The kind of peace that doesn't come with compromises, misunderstandings, or the need to explain yourself. It's a quiet that calms your soul and allows you to reconnect with your inner self. And in that peace, you grow stronger. You face life's challenges alone, and you learn to navigate them with grace and strength. You build resilience that you never thought you had, and you discover just how capable you are. Every obstacle you face on your own makes you more equipped for what's to come. But here's the most beautiful part: when you live alone, you attract the right energy. You no longer settle for relationships that drain you or keep you small. You stand in your power, and that energy draws in people who respect you, love you, and see you for the whole beautiful person that you are. There's something incredibly powerful about being alone. It's not just about the physical space around you, but about the space within. When you live alone, you're given the rare opportunity to truly discover yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses, your dreams, your fears. And in that discovery, you begin to understand the essence of who you are, not who the world has shaped you to be. The noise of the world can be deafening, and in relationships, we often find ourselves losing our own voice in the process of pleasing others, accommodating others, or becoming who others need us to be. But when you're alone, there's no distraction. You are forced to sit with your own thoughts, your own desires, your own sorrows, your own soul. It's in that stillness that you uncover the truth about yourself, the truth that may have been buried beneath layers of expectation or fear. You'll learn things about yourself that you never knew existed. You'll tap into reserves of strength that you didn't even realize were there. You'll face your fears head on and discover just how capable you are of overcoming them. You'll find parts of yourself that have been dormant, waiting for the right moment, the right time, the right environment to wake up and come alive. In this process, you begin to see your worth, no longer defined by someone else's opinion of you or the roles you've played in their lives. You stand as you are, whole and complete. You start to realize that you are enough without the need for validation from anyone else. And in this truth, you find freedom. Freedom to be who you are, not who someone else needs you to be. Living alone isn't just about having time to reflect. It's about becoming a version of yourself that you never thought possible. It's about breaking through the limitations and expectations that have been placed on you and stepping into a new, empowered version of yourself. It's in that self-discovery that you find your true purpose, the passion that ignites your spirit, and the confidence to go after everything that's meant for you. And here's the beautiful part: when you discover who you truly are, you stop settling for anything less than what you deserve. You no longer bend, break, or compromise your values for the sake of a relationship, because you've learned that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. There's an undeniable strength that comes with embracing independence. It's the freedom to make decisions that are rooted in your own truth without needing approval or validation from anyone else. When you live alone, you're forced to become your own source of support, your own guide, and your own inspiration. You're not waiting for anyone else to show up for you because you've learned how to show up for yourself. Independence is not about isolation or being disconnected from the world. It's about standing firmly on your own, knowing that you are enough as you are. It's about no longer relying on external circumstances or people to give you permission to live your best life. You begin to make choices based on what aligns with your inner values, your dreams, and your purpose. You begin to trust yourself more than you trust anyone else, and in that trust, you find a profound sense of peace. In relationships, we sometimes get so caught up in seeking approval, seeking love, seeking companionship that we forget the most important relationship of all is the one we have with ourselves. But when you embrace independence, you stop measuring your worth by what others think of you. You realize that your value is inherent, not dependent on the presence or absence of anyone else in your life. Independence isn't just about doing things alone, it's about doing things because you choose to. It's the confidence to make decisions that serve your highest good, even when others might not understand. It's the strength to set boundaries, to say no, and to put yourself first without feeling guilty. It's the courage to pursue your dreams, to chase your passions, and to create a life that reflects your true desires, not the expectations others place on you. When you embrace independence, you unlock a new level of power within you. You realize that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You can weather any storm, overcome any obstacle, and achieve anything you set your mind to because you are no longer dependent on someone else to complete you. You are already whole, and when you stand tall in that wholeness, you become unstoppable. Independence also allows you to build resilience. You learn how to navigate the challenges of life on your own, and each victory, no matter how small, reinforces the belief that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You no longer look to others for strength because you've discovered that the greatest source of strength is within you. Mastering self-love is a journey, a beautiful, challenging, and life-changing journey. It's about learning to see yourself not through the lens of others' opinions or judgments, but through the eyes of your own heart. So many of us spend our lives looking for love outside of ourselves, thinking that someone else's love will complete us, heal us, or validate us. But the truth is, the most important love story you will ever live is the one you have with yourself. Self-love isn't just about saying, I love myself in front of a mirror or posting an affirmation online. It's about showing up for yourself every single day. It's about treating yourself with kindness even when the world around you isn't kind. It's about forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made and recognizing that they don't define you, but rather they shape you into the person you are meant to become. It's about nurturing your soul, body, and mind and giving yourself the care you would offer to someone you deeply love. When you master self-love, you stop allowing the opinions of others to dictate your worth. You realize that you are worthy not because of what you do, but simply because you exist. You are worthy because of the beauty that lies within you and the light that radiates from your spirit. This love isn't about being perfect or having it all together. It's about accepting every part of who you are, even the parts that might seem broken, lost, or incomplete. Because, my friends, it's those very parts that give you depth, that teach you resilience, and that make you real. Self-love means setting boundaries. It means saying no when you need to, even when others might not understand. It's about protecting your peace, your energy, and your joy. When you truly love yourself, you refuse to settle for relationships, environments, or situations that drain you. You recognize that you deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, support your dreams, and honor your worth. And if those people aren't in your life yet, you stop chasing them and start attracting them because you've learned to love yourself so fiercely that you no longer tolerate anything less than love in return. Mastering self-love also means being vulnerable with yourself. It's about embracing your flaws and imperfections without shame. We live in a world that constantly pressures us to look, act, and be a certain way. But when you love yourself deeply, you can stand in your truth and say, I am enough, just as I am. You stop comparing yourself to others because you know that your journey is yours alone and it's meant to unfold in its own time and in its own way. Your value isn't defined by a number on a scale, a job title, or a relationship status. Your value is inherent, unshakable, and unchangeable. But mastering self-love is about giving yourself the freedom to grow. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to stumble and fall. But when you love yourself, you give yourself the grace to get back up. You don't stay stuck in the shame or guilt of failure. Instead, you learn from it, you grow from it, and you become stronger because of it. With self-love, you develop a deep well of compassion for yourself. You become your own biggest cheerleader, rooting for your success and your happiness no matter how many times you fall or how long the road may seem. When you truly master self-love, you become a magnet for the love, respect, and joy you deserve. You stop waiting for someone else to fill the void within you because you've learned that you are whole and complete just as you are. You stop trying to fit into a mold or live up to someone else's expectations because you realize that your authenticity is your greatest strength. You become your own source of peace, your own source of power, and your own source of power, and your own source of love. Personal freedom is the most beautiful gift you can give yourself. It's the ability to stand in your own truth and live life on your own terms. It's waking up every day and knowing that your choices are yours alone to make no one else's expectations or limitations defining your path. Personal freedom is not just about freedom from others, it's about freedom from your own doubts, fears, and insecurities that hold you back from becoming the person you are always meant to be. When you embrace personal freedom, you stop seeking permission to live your life. You stop waiting for someone to give you the green light to pursue your dreams, to express yourself authentically, to be who you truly are. You understand that you are the architect of your own life and the only approval you need is your own. It's about making decisions based on your desires, your passions, and your heart's deepest longings, not because you feel obligated to please others or fit into a mold that was never meant for you. Personal freedom means no longer being shackled by fear, the fear of judgment, failure, or rejection. So many of us stay stuck in situations that don't serve us because we're afraid of what might happen if we step out of our comfort zones. But when you truly embrace freedom, you realize that the only way to live the life you want is by stepping through the door of fear and walking into the unknown. It's when you push through those fears that you unlock your greatest potential. With personal freedom comes the power to say no, to protect your energy, your time, and your peace. And your peace, it means having the courage to walk away from people, situations, or environments that drain you, that diminish your light. You realize that your time is too precious to waste on things that don't align with your purpose, and that saying no is an act of self-respect. In your freedom, you realize that you don't have to explain your choices to anyone. Your life is yours to live, and you have the power to choose what you want to invite into it. Personal freedom is the ability to pursue your passions without guilt, to chase your dreams without fear of failure. It's the boldness to do what sets your soul on fire, even if no one else understands it. When you live freely, you give yourself permission to create a life that excites you, that brings you joy, and that reflects who you truly are. You stop dimming your light to fit into someone else's idea of what success looks like. You realize that success is personal, and it's about living a life that feels true to you. Breaking free from dependency is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's a journey of rediscovery where you reclaim your power and step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Dependency is not just about relying on others, it's about relying on external things, situations, or people to define your happiness, your worth, and your purpose. But the moment you decide to break free, you realize that your true power lies within you, waiting to be tapped into, unleashed, and lived. For so long, many of us have lived under the illusion that we need someone or something outside of ourselves to make us whole. We've been conditioned to think that love, success, or happiness comes from external sources. But the truth is, true fulfillment comes from within. Breaking free from dependency is not about cutting people out of your life or refusing to lean on others. It's about realizing that you have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to stand on your own 2 feet. It's about recognizing that you are not defined by what you have, what you do, or who you're with, but by the truth of who you are at your core. The first step in breaking free is realizing that you are worthy of love, worthy of success, worthy of happiness on your own. You don't need someone else to complete you, nor do you need to seek approval or validation to know your worth. You are whole just as you are. And the moment you embrace that, you begin to untangle yourself from the chains of dependency that have held you back for far too long. Dependency often feeds on fear, the fear of being alone, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough. But breaking free means choosing to face those fears head on. It means stepping into the unknown and trusting that no matter what, you will be okay. You have everything inside of you to build the life you want. You don't need to rely on someone else's opinion, support, or approval to create a life of fulfillment and joy. You are the architect of your own destiny. When you break free from dependency, you also learn to trust yourself. You stop second-guessing your decisions or waiting for someone else to tell you what to do. You understand that your intuition is your guiding light, and you start to follow it fearlessly. You realize that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way because you've done it before and you'll continue to do it. The strength you have is within you. You've always had it. You just had to believe in it. Breaking free means giving yourself the freedom to grow and evolve without the fear of disappointing others. For so long, we've allowed ourselves to be molded by other people's expectations, but the moment you choose freedom, you step into your own power. You no longer seek approval or permission to be who you truly are. You begin to set boundaries, speak your truth, and honor your needs without guilt. You stop letting the opinions of others dictate your happiness or success, and instead you create a life that feels aligned with your authentic self. Discovering true peace is a journey of self-realization, one that doesn't come from the absence of chaos, but from finding calm within it. So often we seek peace in external circumstances, when things align perfectly, when others behave a certain way, or when our environment is calm. But the real peace that transforms your life isn't dependent on anything outside of you. It's the peace that rises from deep within your soul, a peace that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. True peace begins when you stop searching for validation, approval, or answers from the world around you. It's when you realize that the answers you've been looking for have always been within you. No one can give you peace. No one can take it from you. It's your birthright, your gift to yourself, and your responsibility to protect it. The world will always throw challenges your way, but peace isn't about avoiding the storm. It's about learning how to remain grounded when the wind is howling and the waves are crashing. Peace isn't the absence of problems, but the presence of trust. It's trusting that no matter what happens, you will be okay. When you discover true peace, you realize that every obstacle, every setback, and every difficult moment is simply a stepping stone towards something greater. You stop seeing challenges as threats, and instead you start seeing them as opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. You trust that the universe has a plan for you and that your struggles are leading you to where you're meant to be. When you discover peace, you also discover forgiveness. True peace cannot exist without forgiveness, both of yourself and others. It's letting go of past hurts, past mistakes, and the anger that holds you captive. Holding on to resentment or regret only robs you of the present moment. Forgiveness frees you from the chains of bitterness and opens your heart to the love and joy that is already available to you. You realize that holding on to pain only hurts you, and that releasing it is the key to your liberation. Peace is also about embracing acceptance. It's about accepting yourself, your journey, and the things you cannot control. So many of us spend our lives fighting against what is, wishing for things to be different. But true peace comes when you surrender to the present moment, when you stop resisting and simply allow life to unfold as it is meant to. You realize that everything happens for a reason, and that even in the most difficult times, there is a lesson to be learned, a growth to be gained. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the need to control everything, trusting that everything is working in your favor, even when it doesn't look like it. Discovering peace is also about learning to quiet the noise inside your mind. We live in a world that bombards us with distractions, demands, and expectations, but the peace you seek is found in the silence, in the stillness. It's in the moments when you allow yourself to be fully present, to breathe deeply, and to let go of all the worries and anxieties that cloud your mind. In those moments of silence, you reconnect with yourself and rediscover the inner calm that has always been there waiting for you. Discovering true peace is not about avoiding the struggles of life or waiting for everything to fall into place. It's about finding calm within the chaos, learning to navigate the storms with a quiet heart and standing firm in the face of life's challenges. True peace isn't something that can be given to you, it's something you must claim for yourself. It's not about external circumstances, it's about the internal foundation you build that allows you to stay centered no matter what life throws your way. So many of us spend our lives searching for peace in all the wrong places, looking for it in people, in achievements, in material things. We think that if we could just reach the next milestone, attain the next goal, or fix this one problem, peace would finally be ours. But what we fail to realize is that true peace doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. It comes from the way you think, the way you handle your emotions, and the way you carry yourself in the world. Peace is something that you cultivate inside your heart, no matter the storm that may rage outside. The moment you realize that peace is not something you find, but something you create, everything changes. You stop searching for peace in places that are fleeting and unreliable. Instead, you turn inward and you start to see that the source of true peace has always been with you, waiting to be acknowledged. It's the inner stillness that comes when you stop trying to control everything and simply allow life to unfold. It's the moment you stop reacting to circumstances and choose instead to respond with grace, trust, and understanding. Peace is not the absence of difficulty, it is the ability to move through difficulties with a spirit that remains unshaken. The path to true peace is paved with the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you, the grudges, the regrets, the fears, and the self-doubt. Let go of these things isn't easy, but it is necessary. When you carry around emotional baggage, it's impossible to find peace. Holding on to past hurts or mistakes only weighs you down, preventing you from moving forward and embracing the peace that is waiting for you. When you release the things that hold you hostage, you free yourself to experience a level of peace that transcends the noise and distractions of life. True peace is also about acceptance. It's about accepting yourself, your journey, and your limitations. So often we beat ourselves up for not being where we think we should be, or for not having everything figured out. We compare ourselves to others and think we're falling short. But peace comes when we stop the constant striving and simply accept where we are right now. We learn to appreciate the progress we've made and trust that every step, no matter how small, is leading us to where we are meant to be. Peace is found in the present moment, in the quiet understanding that where you are is exactly where you need to be. When you begin to discover peace, you also learn to trust. Trust is the foundation of peace. Trust in yourself and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And in the process of life itself, trust that even when things don't go as planned, there is a reason and there is a lesson. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be and that everything is unfolding as it should. With trust comes the release of control, the release of worry, and the release of the need for everything to be perfect. Peace thrives in the soil of trust, and when you allow yourself to let go and trust in life, you discover a peace that is unshakable. True peace is also about forgiveness. It's about letting go of past hurts, whether those hurts were caused by others or by yourself. We carry so much pain with us because we refuse to forgive, thinking that forgiveness is for the person who hurt us. But in reality, forgiveness is for you. It's a way of freeing yourself from the chains of resentment and bitterness. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace. You realize that holding on to pain only keeps you tied to the past, and when you release it, you create space for healing, growth, and true peace.